You're not boring, you're just trying too hard. Trying too hard to sound smart, to be interesting, to make an impression. And while you're trying, people can feel it. That's why they don't really listen. Want to know why the most interesting person in the room usually isn't trying at all? Mark noticed this too. He kept asking himself the same question. Why do some people become magnetic while others fade into the background, even when they try harder? For a long time he thought it was about confidence, about humor, about having the right words at the right time. But the more he tried, the more empty he felt after every conversation. One evening, Mark found himself at another party. It was loud. People were talking over each other. Someone kept interrupting. Someone else was trying to tell their story a little louder than everyone else. The atmosphere felt familiar, a subtle competition for attention. Mark knew how to play that game too. He knew when to drop a joke, when to add a story, when to raise the energy just enough so he wouldn't disappear. But this time, he felt tired. For the first time, he noticed how much effort it actually took to sound interesting. So instead of jumping in, he decided to stay quiet, just observe. That's when he noticed him. A guy who barely spoke, but when he did, people stopped talking. Not because he was loud, but because he looked people in the eye. He listened all the way through. And when he responded, it felt like the person in front of him was the only one in the room. After talking to him, people seemed different. They laughed a little more genuinely, spoke a little more confidently, stood a little straighter. And for the first time, Mark wondered, maybe it's not about being interesting. Maybe it's about being attentive. That night, Mark couldn't fall asleep. He kept replaying the conversations in his head, his jokes, his stories, his attempts to sound confident. And the more he replayed them, the clearer one uncomfortable truth became. In every conversation, he wasn't thinking about the person in front of him. He was thinking about himself. Was he interesting enough? Was he making an impression? Did he sound confident? Did he say something stupid? He was in the room, but his attention was trapped inside his own head. And that's why he felt empty after every conversation, not because the people were wrong, but because he was never really there with them. That realization stung. The problem wasn't that he lacked charisma. The problem was that he was constantly editing himself. Self-monitoring consumed his attention. Fear consumed his presence. The need to be liked consumed his authenticity. And while he was trying to be noticed, he was fading into the background. The next time, Mark decided to try something different. He didn't prepare stories. He didn't rehearse jokes. He didn't plan how he would come across. He just decided to test a simple idea. What if it's not about being interesting? What if it's about truly seeing the person in front of you? That evening he spoke less, but he listened more. Instead of waiting for his turn to talk, he stayed with the conversation all the way through. When a woman next to him mentioned she was changing jobs, he didn't jump in with his own story. He simply asked, "Are you excited or a little scared?" She paused. And for the first time that night, someone wasn't speaking louder, just more honestly. Mark began to notice something shifting. Conversations felt deeper. People opened up more. They laughed more genuinely. They stayed a little longer. And for the first time after a party, he didn't feel that familiar emptiness. He wasn't the loudest. He wasn't the center of the room. But somehow, people kept coming back to him. That's when he understood. Charisma isn't born from volume or confidence. It's born from focus. When you stop asking, "How do I look?" and start asking, "What is this person actually feeling right now?" something changes. And the paradox is this. The moment you stop trying to be noticed, you stop fading into the background. Mark didn't become a different person overnight. He didn't suddenly turn into the most confident person in the room. He didn't become perfectly charismatic. He simply stopped fighting himself. He stopped obsessing over how he looked. Stopped editing every word before it left his mouth. Stopped trying to impress. And something shifted. People started to feel calmer around him, freer, braver. As if, with him, they didn't have to prove anything. As if they were allowed to just be themselves, without the fear of not being enough. That's when he understood something simple. Charisma isn't about shining brighter than everyone else. It's about creating a space where others begin to shine. Because maybe the strongest kind of magnetism isn't when everyone is looking at you. It's when people feel that you truly see them.